Part 2, Slide 1. Welcome back to our Marine Insurance series for MEO Class 1. In Part 1, we learned the fundamentals of marine insurance, including the difference between hull and machinery insurance and protection and indemnity insurance, the concept of mutuality, the international group of P&I clubs, pooling, reinsurance, and the different types of calls. In this second part, we'll move from theory to practice. We'll understand what actually happens after a marine accident, how a P&I claim is handled, the role of correspondents and surveyors, what a letter of undertaking is, how blue cards are used, and finally how a claim is investigated and settled. By the end of this lecture, you'll have a clear understanding of the complete P&I claims handling process, which is an important topic for both MEO Class 1 oral examinations and real shipboard operations. So, let's begin. Slide 2. P&I claims handling process. Now that we understand what a P&I club is, let's see what happens when an incident occurs. A P&I claim arises whenever a member's ship becomes legally liable to a third party. Unlike hull and machinery insurance, which mainly covers damage to the insured vessel, P&I insurance deals with liabilities arising from the operation of the ship. Common examples include crew injury, cargo damage, pollution, passenger claims, damage to fixed and floating objects, wreck removal, and collision liabilities that are not recoverable under H&M insurance. The purpose of claims handling is not simply to pay compensation. The main objectives are to protect life, minimize losses, protect the member's legal interests, and resolve claims as efficiently as possible. A well-managed claim often prevents a minor incident from becoming a major financial loss. Slide 3. Immediate actions after an incident. The first few minutes after a marine incident are often the most critical. Regardless of whether the incident is a collision, grounding, fire, pollution, or crew injury, the master's first responsibility is always the safety of human life. The next priorities are protecting the environment and preventing further damage to the ship or cargo. Once the immediate danger has been controlled, attention should turn to preserving evidence. Logbooks should be completed accurately. Photographs and videos should be taken. VDR data should be preserved, and statements from witnesses should be collected as soon as possible while events are still fresh in everyone's memory. One very important rule for every master and chief engineer is never admit liability without instructions from the company or the P&I club. A simple statement made at the scene may later affect the legal defense of the case. Slide 4. Reporting the incident. After the emergency has been brought under control, the next step is prompt reporting. The company should always be informed immediately. Depending on the nature of the incident, the P&I club, hull and machinery insurers, flag state, port authority, or coastal state may also need to be notified. The initial report should include the ship's position, the time of the incident, what happened, the extent of damage, any injuries, pollution, and the actions already taken by the crew. Early reporting is extremely important because it allows the P&I club to arrange assistance without delay. In many cases, the club can appoint local correspondents, surveyors, or lawyers within a very short time, helping to protect the members' interests from the very beginning. Slide 6. Role of the P&I correspondent. One of the biggest strengths of a P&I club is its worldwide network of correspondents. A correspondent is the club's local representative at a particular port or country. Because they understand the local language, laws, authorities, and procedures, they are able to provide immediate practical assistance when an incident occurs. Their responsibilities include attending the casualty, assisting the master, arranging surveyors, appointing lawyers when necessary, coordinating with local authorities, and helping resolve practical issues during the claim. However, one important point must be remembered. A correspondent does not decide whether a claim is covered. Their role is to assist locally, while the final decision on insurance cover is made by the P&I Club in accordance with its rules. Slide 7. Surveyors and technical experts. After a serious incident, the P&I Club may appoint independent surveyors and technical experts. Their job is to investigate the incident professionally and establish the facts. They determine the cause of the accident, assess the extent of damage, collect evidence, and provide independent reports that can be used during claim negotiations or legal proceedings. Remember, these experts are not appointed simply to support one side. Their purpose is to establish the facts accurately so that liability can be determined fairly. In marine insurance, good evidence is often the key to successful claims handling.
Slide 7. Casualty management. Once the immediate emergency has been controlled, the focus shifts to casualty management. The objective is not only to deal with the accident, but also to minimize its overall impact. This includes protecting human life, preventing pollution, reducing further damage to the vessel or cargo, and restoring normal operations as safely and quickly as possible. The P&I Club plays a major role during this stage. It can range technical experts, legal advisors, pollution response specialists, and local correspondents who coordinate with port authorities and other agencies. Good casualty management often saves far more money than the actual insurance claim. A quick and well-coordinated response can reduce legal liabilities, minimize delays, and protect the reputation of both the shipowner and the company. Remember, successful casualty management is about making the right decisions at the right time. Slide 8. Security for claims. After a marine incident, it is common for the claimant to ask for financial security before releasing the ship or cargo. This security assures the claimant that, if liability is eventually established, compensation will be available. Without acceptable security, the vessel may even be arrested by a court in some jurisdictions. There are several forms of security, including a letter of undertaking issued by the P&I Club, a bank guarantee, a cash deposit, or security ordered by a court. One point often asked in oral examinations is whether providing security means accepting responsibility for the incident. The answer is no. Providing security simply protects the claimant's financial interest while allowing the legal process to continue. Liability will only be decided after the facts have been investigated and the applicable law has been considered. Slide 9. Letter of Undertaking, LOU. One of the most common forms of security in the shipping industry is the Letter of Undertaking, commonly called an LOU. An LOU is a written promise issued by the P&I Club on behalf of the member. It guarantees that if the member is found legally liable, the club will pay the agreed amount up to the limits stated in the undertaking. The main advantage of an LOU is that it usually allows the ship to continue trading without having to deposit a large amount of cash or arrange a costly bank guarantee. This saves both time and money while protecting the interests of all parties involved. A very important point to remember is that an LOU is not an admission of liability. It is simply a financial guarantee that enables the claim to be handled without unnecessarily delaying the vessel. Slide 10. Blue cards. Many international conventions require ships to carry evidence that they have adequate insurance for specific liabilities. This is where the blue card becomes important. A blue card is issued by the P&I Club to confirm that the ship has the required insurance cover under the relevant international convention. The blue card itself is sent to the ship's flag administration, which then issues the official statutory certificate that must be carried on board. Blue cards are commonly used for conventions such as the Civil Liability Convention, the Bunker Convention, and the Nairobi Wreck Removal Convention. For your oral examination, remember one important distinction. The blue card is not the statutory certificate carried on board. It is evidence provided to the flag state, which then issues the official certificate. Before we continue, we've now covered the complete emergency response process, security for claims, letters of undertaking, and blue cards. some of the most important practical topics in P&I insurance. If you're finding this series helpful, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. I'm creating a complete MEO Class 1 marine insurance course explained in simple language with technically accurate content and practical examples that will help you both in your oral examination and during your career at sea. Now let's continue with the final part of this lecture, where we'll learn about the member's responsibilities, claim investigations, and how P&I claims are finally settled. Slide 11. International Liability Certificates. After receiving the blue card, the flag state issues the relevant statutory certificate required under international conventions. These certificates demonstrate that the ship has the necessary financial security to meet its legal liabilities if an incident occurs. Examples include the Civil Liability Convention Certificate for tanker pollution, the Bunker Convention Certificate for bunker fuel pollution, the Nairobi Wreck Removal Convention Certificate, and the MLC Financial Security Certificate, which provides financial protection for crew repatriation and certain employment-related obligations. Although these certificates are issued by the flag state, they are made possible because the P&I Club provides the required financial guarantee through the blue card. Understanding the relationship between the blue card and the statutory certificate is a common topic in MEO Class 1 oral examinations.
Slide 12. Member's responsibilities. Once a claim has been reported, the member has a continuing responsibility to cooperate fully with the P&I Club. This includes providing accurate information, preserving all available evidence, following the club's instructions, and taking reasonable steps to minimize further losses. Documents such as logbooks, engine records, cargo documents, VDR recordings, photographs, CCTV recordings, and crew statements may all become important during the investigation. The member should never destroy evidence, alter records, or enter into any settlement without first consulting the company and the P&I Club. Remember, P&I insurance operates on the principle of mutual trust and cooperation. A member who promptly reports an incident and actively assists the club enables the claim to be handled more efficiently and fairly. Slide 13. Claims investigation. Before any claim can be settled, the facts must be carefully investigated. The purpose of the investigation is to establish exactly what happened, determine the cause of the incident, identify legal liability, assess the extent of the damage, and estimate the financial exposure. To achieve this, investigators may review logbooks, survey reports, VDR recordings, CCTV footage, weather reports, cargo documents, maintenance records, and witness statements. The investigation may also consider whether any international convention or local law applies to the incident. One important point to remember is that the P&I Club does not settle claims simply because an accident has occurred. Every claim is assessed on the basis of facts, evidence, applicable law, and the club rules. Slide 14. Claims settlement. Once the investigation has been completed, the next stage is settlement of the claim. Before any payment is made, the club confirms that legal liability has been established, all relevant evidence has been reviewed, survey reports have been completed, and appropriate legal advice has been obtained where necessary. Many claims are resolved through negotiation between the parties. However, if an agreement cannot be reached, the dispute may proceed to arbitration or court proceedings, depending on the contract and the applicable law. It is important to understand that the P&I Club does not pay every claim automatically. It indemnifies the member only for liabilities that are covered under the club rules and the agreed terms of entry. This is why careful investigation and proper documentation are essential throughout the claims handling process. Slide 15. Practical claims example. Let's see how all these steps come together through a practical example. Imagine that a vessel accidentally strikes a berth while coming alongside in port. As a result, the berth is damaged and port operations are temporarily disrupted. Depending on the circumstances, there may also be pollution, repair costs,
legal expenses, or claims from the Port Authority. The master immediately reports the incident to the company, which notifies the P&I Club. The club appoints a local correspondent who arranges for surveyors and other experts to inspect the damage and collect evidence. After the investigation is completed, negotiations take place with the claimant, and if liability is established under the applicable law and the club rules, the claim is settled. This example shows that successful claims handling depends on quick reporting, professional investigation, and close cooperation between the ship, the company, and the P&I Club. Slide 16, Part 2 Summary. Let's quickly review what we've learned in this lecture. We began by understanding how a P&I claim arises and the immediate actions required after a marine incident. We then discussed the importance of prompt reporting, the role of P&I correspondents, surveyors, and technical experts, followed by casualty management and the different forms of security used during claims. We also learned about the Letter of Undertaking, blue cards, and how statutory certificates are issued under international conventions. Finally, we discussed the members' responsibilities, the claims investigation process, claim settlement, and a practical example showing how a typical P&I claim is handled from start to finish. In Part 3, we'll move on to advanced topics, including entry into a P&I club, annual renewal, underwriting, loss prevention, F&D insurance, charterers P&I insurance, war risks insurance, sanctions, cyber risks, and practical MEO Class 1 oral questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in Part 3.